Hello and welcome back to another special episode of World Traveler Cooking. Today we are celebrating the 600 subscriber mark, still. If you are seeing this and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. When I get to the 700 subscriber mark, I will be looking at specifically Scandinavian pizza styles. So today we will be doing the final Roman pasta for this show. We have already done amatriciana, alla carbonara, and so we are left with Cacio e Peppe. This is probably the simplest pasta dish I know of, but it also has a reputation of being very finicky. I'm working off of Italian language recipes today, aimed at home cooks, and so they have some slightly different techniques for making this pasta, some of which will seem somewhat familiar if you've seen some of my other videos. So hopefully this will take some of the mystery out of this dish and make it accessible and easy to do as a home cook. So I have about 160 grams of spaghetti. You can use rigatoni or bucatini if you like. I have 2 to 3 grams of black pepper, whole peppercorns. We will crack these with a mallet rather than using a pepper grinder. And then I have 100 grams of pecorino romano cheese. Those are, believe it or not, the main ingredients. We'll also have some pasta water. At any rate, let's go ahead and get started. So while we are waiting for the water to boil, we'll just take a meat mallet and we will crack this pepper. You could also do it on an ulek. You could even use a rock or a mortar and pestle. Or you could use like a food processor. But I'm going to go ahead and just crack this and I'll be back. I would say just guard it with your hand so it doesn't like go everywhere, and just pound it. So while we are waiting for the water to boil, we can start toasting our pepper. So I'm going to do this in a wok. As I said before, more and more Italians are using woks because they are really convenient. So just put my cracked pepper in, and I'm going to heat it on a low heat while I stir it. And after a few minutes, it just started becoming really fragrant. Hopefully by then I will have added the... Oh yeah, it's already becoming nice and fragrant. So I'm going to let this go for another minute or so, and then I will start adding water to make sure it doesn't burn. But we'll keep this on a very low heat for now. We'll just kind of roast this pepper gently. And there we go. And our pasta water is ready, so I'll add the pasta and then I'll be right back. So I'm only using about the same amount of water as I did with the alla just because I don't want to wait for it all to heat up. So once I've stirred this around a little bit, I will take just a ladle full of this water from the pasta, and I will add it in with the pepper. And I'll let this infuse the water for a bit. This is actually really important because we will be finishing the pasta in this water. So we want it to have a nice pepper flavor. So in a few minutes, when the pasta is still just a little crunchy, I will transfer it in here, and we will cook it at that point like we would a risotto. We'll just keep stirring it, and letting it absorb the water, and then we'll add a little more water and repeat that process. That'll look a little familiar to those of you who have done spaghetti alla sassina, which I have another video on. And that will both flavor the pasta, it will also create a nice starchy base for the sauce. I'll be back in a few minutes when we're ready to transfer the pasta. You do need to keep an eye on the water level here and add more if it gets too low. So the pasta is just starting to lose its crunch. So I'm going to move it in here. And make sure I get all of it out. And then I will turn off the heat from under the pasta water. Here, we're going to stir this around. And once the bottom of the pan is basically dry, we'll add another ladle of pasta water. And I'm going to turn this up a little bit. But we want to keep vigorously stirring it because this will affect the consistency of the final sauce. So we'll keep doing this for a couple minutes until the pasta is done. We should have almost no water on the bottom. So I'll be back in a few minutes. In this next step, we prepare the cream. This is the pecorino romano. We'll start with maybe half a liter, no, half a ladle of water. I think I'm going to need more. And yeah, I need more. Another half a ladle. That might be a quarter of a ladle. Let's see. Basically, we're just going to whip this with a whisk until it's all nice and smooth. Now, we wait to do that until now for temperature control reasons. You know what? I'm going to switch to a fork. And we want this to be kind of a nice creamy texture, so this isn't quite enough water, I think. So I'm going to add a little more. Alright, I think that's good. We can add more pasta water in the dish when we add this. So we're going to scoop this into the pasta, we'll start stirring it, and we will add more pasta water as needed. So here it goes. We'll start with just part of it. Stir it in rapidly. And that is starting to look nice and creamy. So I think we got the heat about right. It's also looking like the texture is about right also. So in goes the rest. And I will probably have to add just a little bit of pasta water. But let's see. Ah, that's looking nice. No, I don't think I'll need any more pasta water. This is looking really, really, really good. So just vigorously stir it for another minute or so. This will help homogenize the sauce a bit. Now, the reason for finishing out the pasta in this way, apparently, is twofold. First of all, it helps the pepper flavor soak into the spaghetti or etc. It also creates a nice starchier base for the sauce. At restaurants, very oftentimes they will make a cornstarch stabilized sauce. No self-respecting Italian home cook would ever do that. So this is sort of the alternative. You can see how nice and creamy this sauce is. That's looking really, really good. So next up, I'm just going to put a little on a plate and we'll do a taste test. So I just want you to see how gorgeous this pasta is. I will, of course, do some photography after the taste test. But on to the taste test. And now for the taste test. This is phenomenal. Has a wonderful tangy flavor from the cheese, the spiciness from the pepper. It's rich, it's comforting, it's an amazing dish. It's really, really good. Now, if you find this content interesting, you'd like to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe. Additionally, if you have anything to say about this dish, maybe you make it differently, please let me know in the comments. I am working off of Italian language recipes today, and you'll see that how useful it is sometimes to actually look at the original rather than just try to piece your way through whatever people are trying to say in your own language. So, yeah, if you have anything to say about this dish, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, bon appetit. Recipes in the description. See you next week.